All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the live. We are talking Green Bay Packer football here. Aaron with Wisconsin Family Podcast, TikTok channel, YouTube channel, entire network of sports here. We're going to let some people join in and take your questions, take your comments. We did this last Friday night, and it was a big success. So Packers get a win over the Bears. We've talked enough about that, so it is on now to the Atlanta Falcons as far as the Packers are concerned. So we're going to do exactly what we did last week, and maybe it'll even bring us some luck. Maybe we had some small part in why the Green Bay Packers won that game last week over the Chicago Bears. No, not really. It's just because the Bears suck, and the Packers looked halfway decent last week. So, we're going to talk Packer football. We're going to drink a couple of beers, as we did last week. We're going to basically try to emulate everything that we did last week, because it worked out in a win. Though we are in a different location. Last week, we were up in my kitchen, and tonight, we are in my office in the basement. As you can see, Packer attire in the background. If I would move, you could see a nice replica Packer helmet as well, which I like. Let's see. Uper David's starting us off here. Welcome in. By the way, folks, ladies and gentlemen, as we sit here talking Packers, drinking beer. Oh, yeah. As we do that, check in. Let me know where you're watching from, where you're a Packer fan from. Last week we had a lot of Bear fans in here as well. It doesn't matter. Check in. Let me know where you're from. Anyway, Uper David 43 question: who's rotating behind Dylan if Jones doesn't play? Yeah, so the latest injury report came out today, and Aaron Jones is listed as questionable. So I guess that's better than having him ruled out. It doesn't seem real great because he didn't practice yet today. But if he does not go, obviously you've got A.J. Dillon. And I'd be curious to see what they do with Emmanuel Wilson. Now, they kept Wilson on the roster and let Patrick Taylor go just to re-sign Taylor on the practice squad. Apparently they didn't think they could get Wilson through the waivers, but they could with Taylor. But then they end up having Wilson inactive and Taylor active last week. So I'm not sure exactly what happens behind that. So last week the Packers go in with 3 running backs, right? So you've got Jones, you've got Dillon, and you've got Patrick Taylor. I would assume that if Aaron Jones is a no-go this week, that basically you're still going to go in with 3. So you're going to have Dillon as your number 1 guy. And then any combination of Taylor and Emmanuel Wilson behind Dillon. Now, that may not thrill some Packer fans because A.J. Dillon didn't have a great game last week, clearly. And that was well documented. Though I still contend, if you go back and you watch that game many times that he touched the ball, there was absolutely no blocking for A.J. Dillon. So, whatever. You want to go back and you want to watch it, you want to see what I'm talking about, you can. If not, you just look at the numbers. But there is more to it than just looking at the stat sheet. Now, were there a few runs where he probably could have gotten a little bit more? Yeah, sure, absolutely. There is for everyone. But for the most part, last week, Dillon did not have room to run. So that's it. You're still going to go in with 3 running backs, only it's going to be, if Jones is inactive, it's going to be Dillon, Wilson, and Taylor. But you'd like to see Wilson, somewhat, because he had such an electric preseason. Now, don't misunderstand, I absolutely am desperate to have Aaron Jones in the lineup and not inactive. That would be absolutely terrible. All right, let's see. Life, FISGD. Again, I'm going to butcher a lot of your names here. Bears fan from Jacksonville. Okay, welcome in. Not so good for you last week. Family lives in Washington Heights. Okay, sounds good. Everyone joining in, welcome in, welcome in. Just let me know, check in where you're watching from. We're talking Green Bay Packer football, drinking a little bit of beer here on a Friday night, trying to emulate everything that we did last week, which in our own little way maybe helped the Green Bay Packers. No, I'm just kidding, I'm not that dumb. But in our own little way maybe help the Green Bay Packers beat the Bears. But again, it does help that the Bears suck. What can I say? Giants. Let's see. Marine Giants. Woo. Let us go. I am fan of Packers. Green Cactus Landscapes. as a Packer fan, how did you feel about the Rodgers injury? I've moved on from Aaron Rodgers. I don't want to see anyone get hurt. I don't want to see anyone get hurt, number one, and that includes Aaron Rodgers. I've moved on from him, so if it's Aaron Rodgers going out for the season, or Patrick Mahomes going out for the season, or Derek Carr going out for the season, I don't know, it's all the same to me, and I don't want to see any of them go out for the season. It does impact the Packers. If you want to talk about the impact that it has on the Packers will not be getting that number one draft pick that they would have had Aaron Rodgers played 65% of the snaps. That turns into a number two, a second-round pick. So that's that. But, again, don't want to see him get hurt. I was not rooting for Rodgers. I was not rooting against Rodgers. I have moved on in my life from number 12, number 8, as he is now. So that's how I felt. Let's see. Matthew, will you be at the Saints game? No. I will not be at the Saints game. If you will be, hope you have a good time. Again, welcome to everyone joining us here. Keep the comments coming in. And let me know where you're watching from here as well. K Swag, who is your favorite Brewers player? Well, this is a Packer show. I don't really have a favorite Brewer player. It was Josh Hader, but he is no more. I don't know. I like Tyrone Taylor right now. User 041995, you think Jones will play Sunday? I don't know. It's not trending in the right direction. So it's positive to see Christian Watson today. You got Watson, you got Quay Walker, you've got Aaron Jones, Bakhtiari on today's injury report, all listed as questionable. Is very good to see Watson was out there, but it was concerning that Aaron Jones was not. Now, if I had to pick one of the two to play on Sunday, I would pick Aaron Jones all day long. Not that I wouldn't want Watson to play. I obviously want both of them to play because the Packer offense would be at its peak when it has all of its best players on the field. But no, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to tell. It's good. I would just leave it at this. As far as Aaron Jones is concerned, I would say that it's a good sign that he was not ruled out. I would say it's a bad sign that he did not practice today. But we're going to have to wait and see. One thing to keep in mind, even if Jones does play, so he's been off this entire week. Hamstring injuries are tricky. We saw it last week. Romeo Doubs had a hamstring injury. He played, but he was on a pitch count of sorts, and I would imagine that Aaron Jones would be as well. Now, as a Packer fan group, we already, for the most part, don't think that Aaron Jones gets enough snaps, or gets enough, I shouldn't say snaps, gets enough touches, does not get enough touches. If he plays, he may be limited in what he can actually do physically, and the Packers, within their game plan, may limit how much he's on the field as well. I'm sure they would if he does play. So something to keep in mind there. The Real Melon says, I love to see it. I love to see it too. I love to see Jordan Love last week. What a start for him. 3 touchdowns, pretty decent amount of passing yards, high quarterback rating. Oh, wonderful. That was and against the Bears. Now the Falcons, that's going to be a bigger test. The Bears the Bears don't have a good defense, but one thing that Packer fans have to stop doing. And I've seen it all week. I'll tell you what you have to stop doing after a drink. Packer fans have to stop discounting this win against the Bears last Sunday. And everyone said, well, the Bears were the worst team in football last year. The Bears have a bad offense. I know, but the Packers won by 18. That's what they're supposed to do, right? I mean, I don't know how you can fault them for that. I don't know how you can discount their win and make it less meaningful than what it is. I don't know what to tell you. I can't help you. You play the schedule that you have, and you won by 18. That's exactly what the Packers were supposed to do. K Swag says, I miss Eddie Lacy. I do too. My dog is actually named after Eddie Lacy. In my opinion, Mike McCarthy kind of killed his career. Underuse just like Aaron Jones was being severely underused by Mike McCarthy as well. And I think at some point Eddie just said, screw it, I'm going to eat Chinese food and play video games and not care about football anymore. But I think it kind of started with Mike McCarthy. That's just my opinion. I don't have a high opinion of Mike McCarthy, though. If you get a chance, I don't know if this is on YouTube or not. I heard it on the radio this morning. Jordy Nelson and what's his name, Josh Sitton, were put into the Packer Hall of Fame a couple of weeks ago. And Mike McCarthy actually did a tribute video for them in which he was talking about it. It was a really, really good video by McCarthy. So if you can look that up on YouTube, I meant to look earlier to see if it was there to re-watch it or re-listen to it. But if you get a chance, go and check it out, because it was pretty cool. Let's see. He seemed fine last week. I don't know if you're talking about... I'm not sure who you're referring to there. User 04. Hey, Chinese, thank you for following the live creator, which is me. Appreciate it. Thank you guys for any likes, follows. 636 likes. Appreciate that. Please keep those coming in. Likes, follows, shares, yeah, whatever. I appreciate all of that. Let's see. Golo707, 49ers will beat the Packers easy. The Packers don't play the 49ers, do they? Let me double check here. Let's see. I don't believe they do. I don't recall that on the schedule. 99.99999% sure the Packers and the 49ers don't play. Unless you're talking about in the playoffs, in which case you may be absolutely correct. Let's see here. Falcons, Saints, Lions, Raiders, Broncos, Vikings, Rams, Steelers, Chargers, Lions, Chiefs, Giants. Nope, they don't play them. Sorry. If the Packers make the playoffs, which I hope they do, then, hey, you know what? No, I shouldn't say. I was going to say, if the Packers could just make the playoffs, I'd be happy to get beat by the 49ers. That's a terrible mentality to have. I shouldn't say that, but I guess it shows my expectations are a little bit lower than what they usually would be, because normally I wouldn't even think in those terms. But no, if the Packers make the playoffs, I will be pretty happy. I'll be pretty surprised, to be honest with you, but see what happens. You get in, you win. Yeah, that's it. Again, check in. Let me know where you're watching from here, whether you're a Packer fan or not. Let's see. Malaya, go Pack Go, with a bunch of cheesehead emoji, not cheesehead, cheese emojis. Camden, yo, hello, welcome. Or Caden. Sorry, Caden. Caden, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Please keep the follows coming in. Appreciate all that from everyone. Packers, there's going to be a lot bigger challenge for the Packers this week in Atlanta. It's going to be, there's a couple of things that work here. I mean, it's going to be hard for the Packers to go 2-0 starting on the road, with their season 2 back-to-back road games. That's a difficult ask. But it was an encouraging start last week. And again, I don't want to discount the game against the Bears because they did beat them by 18. But that's not to say that the Falcons are not going to be much more of a challenge here this week. They have a better defense. Joe Barry's defense is going to be tested more, though I have to say that I was pretty impressed. I was pretty happy with the defense that Joe Barry put out on the field on Sunday against the Bears. The Bears, Justin Fields can't throw the ball, okay? Let's just admit that. If you're a Bear fan, they don't have a good passing game. I don't know. Maybe someday, 5 more years down the road, I don't know, maybe you'll be able to pass. They don't have a passing game right now. But what they do have with Fields is an offense that can run the ball. A couple of decent running backs as well. But Joe Barry and his defense did a really good job against them. So I was impressed with that. So now, Bijan Robinson, I forget the other guy's name off the top of my head right now. I'm grabbing the second for you here. The Falcons' running game is going to present a problem to the Packer defense. So it's Packer interior defensive line. Your middle linebackers, Quay Walker, hopefully he's available. Hopefully he's healthy. And Campbell, they're gonna have to come through big here in this one for the Packers to get a win. I think it's going to be very difficult depending on the injury situation. Certainly going to be more of a challenge than last week. I got to get caught up here with some of the comments. Dylan says, can we get Patrick Taylor some carries? I'm sure if Aaron Jones is out, he's going to get some carries this week. He had less carries than A.J. Dillon last week, though. Again, I've been an A.J. Dillon defender this week, and it's not for any particular reason. It's just because, well, no, it is. It's because I went back and I watched the game a second time, and I realized that on the majority of his runs, talking about A.J. Dillon, there was absolutely no blocking, and a couple of them he was getting hit essentially as soon as he got the ball. And there were a few times where he did have decent blocks, and he got between 5 and 8 yards a couple of times. So whatever, I'm off on a tangent here with that. But yes, I have no problem with Patrick Taylor. I like Patrick Taylor. So yeah, get him more involved, whether Aaron Jones is there or not. Mix it up, and if Aaron Jones is out, certainly Patrick Taylor going to be getting more. Carson O'Leary, thank you for joining in here. What are your thoughts on Jordan Love and the game coming up? My thoughts on Jordan Love is that he has checked off every single box that he's needed to this point. That's what he's done. Preseason, check, looked good, did what he was supposed to do. Game 1 against the Bears, good, no turnovers, 3 touchdown passes, looked confident, looked good. He was, which is to be expected. I mean, he's been in the NFL for a handful of years, but he was, you go back and you watch the film, it was like a lot of veteran savvy things, out of Jordan Love in that game. And that was great. I thought Love has checked off every box. I'm not deeming him a first ballot Hall of Famer or a Hall of Famer at all. I am not deeming him worthy to win the MVP award. I'm just saying Jordan Love has checked off every box that he's needed to so far. And the game definitely is not too big for him. So, I was very encouraged by his performance. Let's see. Billy Badass says, go Pack, go. You got it. Short, sweet, simple, to the point. U04, you were talking about Jones. Looked fine last week. He did until he had his long touchdown run and he was pulled up on his hamstring and then he sat out the rest of the game. Billy Badass, New Glarus, Wisconsin here. Thank you, Billy, for checking in. Again, if you're just joining us here, let me know where you're watching from. Just check in, even if you don't have anything to contribute to the conversation, but I'm sure you do. Check in, let me know where you're watching from. Doesn't have to be in Wisconsin. You don't have to be a Packer fan. New Glarus. All right. Malaya, go Packers. You got it again. Short, sweet, to the point. Boston Bruins, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Ben, what are you drinking tonight? Same as last week. Hams. Cheap beer. But now, no longer brewed in Minnesota, brewed in Milwaukee. Thank you for reminding me that I was drinking something. Hey, by the way, speaking of that, buy one, get one beer at AmFam Field tonight for the Brewer game. But that's off on a totally different subject here. Let's see. Boston Bruins says Packers go 7-10. So I've got them at before the season started, before their win against the Bears. And I have not gone back and reevaluated at this point. But the Packers, I had them at a minimum of 5 wins, a max of 8. So I still feel pretty confident in that. I feel a little bit better. I feel a little bit better right now after starting out 1-0. So I'm okay with that. Ryan says, Brewers World Series or Packers Super Bowl? I'm assuming you're asking me to pick one. Packers Super Bowl every single time. I love the Brewers, but Packers in my fandom are right here. Brewers are about right there. And I love the Brewers. But I can't. I could not give up a Packers Super Bowl. Now, that doesn't mean I don't want the Brewers to win one. I would desperately love the Brewers to win one. But I take Packers Super Bowl over that. Every time. But that's just me. If you say as a Brewer fan you'd rather have a Brewer World Series than a Packers Super Bowl, I'm not going to argue with you. I get it. I totally get it. I got no problem with that. I'm just answering your question. Pam says, hello from the home of Lambeau Field. All right, Pam, checking in from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Welcome in, Pam. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. 2,000 likes right now. Keep liking, keep sharing. Get your buddies and pals on here as well. Love talking Packer football with you here. I think I should start Musgrave in fantasy. I don't know. It depends what your other options are, I suppose. But he had a good game last week. Good debut. Dontavian Wicks led the Packers receivers in snaps. Who would have thought that? These rookies. Who would have thought Wicks leading the Packers receivers in snaps last week? Kiwi. Welcome in. I'm from West Virginia, but I'm going to a Kansas City Chiefs game in October. Sounds like a lot of fun. I would like to go to a game at Arrowhead Stadium. I assume that's where you're going. Maybe not. But either way, fact still remains. I'd like to go to a Chiefs game in Arrowhead Stadium. Carson O'Leary, go Pack Go. Welcome back, Carson. Let's see. Well, my goodness, look at that name. Don't like nobody. I'm just going to go with that. Where are you from? I am from Wisconsin, and I live in Wisconsin. Let's let it breathe here for a second. That's an old broadcasting and radio tip, by the way. Let your broadcast, your play-by-plays, whatever it is that you're doing, let it breathe for a minute. Give people a chance to listen, pay attention, and then we get right back to it. Let's see here. Aaron on air now. Not having a passing game and Justin can't throw are two different things. Both are true. Let's see. Fantasy football question. You don't want my advice on fantasy football or betting. I've already lost plenty of money this football season, be it college or the NFL. So, yeah. Let's see. Big Nasty, 1988. That's a nice name. Go Pack, you got it. Short, sweet, simple, to the point. Let's see. Boston Bruins, he threw one pick only because he had to do something on third down, and the offense was run, screen. Well, yeah. So it was a good play by the Packers on the interception. If you're talking about the pick that Justin Fields threw. User 834 and so on and so forth. Not worried about the pack right now. Go Brew. Go. I'm worried about both. Worried about both. Lions fan in here. Johnny? I don't know. You know who you are. Lions winning the North. We sweeping y'all. Oh, look. Well, go back, watch my picks video, and you will see I too said that the Lions are going to sweep the Packers, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm sure you're probably right. Lions probably going to win the NFC North. I'm hoping that if the Packers win maybe 9 games, maybe they can sneak in as a wild card team. So that would be okay. Let's see here. Danny says, Love was average at best, acting like he didn't miss 5 easy throws. Yeah, you know how many easy throws I've seen Aaron Rodgers miss over the last 10 years? Many. And if people have been watching the Packers, you've seen it too. Well, let's see. Ben says, what would you compare hams to? Well, I would compare it to, this is not a light beer because they have a Ham's light. This is not light. I don't know. It's got its own distinct flavor, taste. Some people don't like it. I do see it being more and more popular, but I've drank it for a while. It used to be that the shelves are always full of it. Now, not so much. A lot of times I get it from Quick Trip because it's cheaper there. But now a lot of times it's like 1-2 cases left when I go in. So I don't know, Ben, what I would compare it to exactly. I mean, it's a Miller, Budweiser. It's all pretty much the same with its own kind of distinct taste. I would compare it to hams. It tastes like hams. That's the best I got for you, buddy. Sorry. Let's see here. Fab 9088, 10-7 from the start. 10-7 for the Packers from the start. All right, like your confidence there. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I don't know if you want to act on it in the betting world per se, but nothing wrong there. Kiwi says, the only football teams I enjoy is Chiefs and Steelers. Sorry. Steelers, who do they play this week? That was part of my six-pack of picks. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. Steelers are... Oh, yeah, that's going to be a good game. That was one of the most difficult ones for me to pick. Steelers and Browns this week. Because my thought on that is the Browns, I didn't really expect them to beat the Bengals, but they did. So the Browns kind of started out hot. They look pretty good. And the Steelers lose at home to the 49ers, which maybe isn't shocking, but that was a hard game for me to pick. So on one side, you've got a team that started out well with the Browns, got a good win, and then you've got the Steelers. Are they really going to go 0-2 to start the season, back-to-back home games with Tomlin? And I picked the Steelers to win that game. Berkey _22XXX. Where do you have the Lions this year? Can they make a run? I have them in first place. What happens in the playoffs remains to be seen. What we know about the Lions is that they are the most talented team in the NFC North. They are the most ready to win now team in the NFC North. And they did a good job against the Chiefs last week without a couple of the Chiefs, two of the Chiefs' best players in the game. So that's what we know, and that's fine. I think I think the Lions are good. I give them as good a chance as a lot of teams, to be honest with you. The only thing I have with the Lions is that they're the Lions, and, the Lions are going to do lion-like things, possibly. So, that would be the only concern that I have, and maybe that's more of a superstition. That's, things change from year to year, but the Lions have never been really a real threat, so it's kind of hard to get conditioned into that thinking. Pam, welcome in from Green Bay. Saw both quarterback play preseason, and both are great. So you're talking about Jordan Love and Clifford. Sean Clifford, the pride of Penn State. But yes, both will get... Hey, user 041995, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I had an idea for any Bears fans who are in here. Considering you guys don't really have a real quarterback, you more have a running back, perhaps you'd be interested in Sean Clifford. Because, I'll say no more. Perhaps. That'll never happen. But anyway, Ben says Badger game predictions for tomorrow. They better win. That's my prediction. We're going to stick to Packers here, but Badgers better win. They're a big favorite, and I don't want to get into the Badgers right now. It's going to start to piss me off here. This guy on live, welcome back. Remember, you were with us last week. Thank you for joining again. Think Aaron Jones will start. I have no idea. That's so hard to tell right now because Jones listed as questionable, which I think is a positive. He's not doubtful. LaFleur and the Packers did not rule him out today. That is a good thing. Bad news, he didn't practice. So, it's going to be a game-time decision, no doubt. I'll err on the side of the positive. I think he'll play. Limited as it may be, yeah. But I am slightly concerned that he didn't practice today. Adam, thank you for checking in. Adam Hester, I'm from Carolina. I'm taking my son to the Bears-Packers last game of the season for his 10th birthday. Wow. Oh, he's not going to forget that one. I was a little bit older than 10 when I went to my first Packer game. I think I was probably like 12 years old. Never going to forget that. That was great. And Bears-Packers, wow. And it's a good thing you're taking them to the game in Green Bay because Packer fans are, you don't want to take them to Chicago. But that's very, very cool, Adam. Truth. Let's see. Would you rather have $50,000? Okay, so this is a life question. Truth says, would you rather have $50,000 right now or your favorite sports team win 3 in a row? I'll take the $50,000. I thought, when I first started reading that, I thought you were going to say, would I rather have $50,000 right now or my favorite sports team win the championship? I would still take the $50,000 right now. Braden says, what you honestly think about Aaron Jones? I got him on fantasy. Well, Braylon, I think it's a game time decision. I think you're in good shape there in this sense that the Packers play a noon game. I think he's, like I just said, I think he's going to be a game time decision. So I would just keep your eyes out for actives and inactives. I think it's going to come right down to it when they release, 45, 50 minutes before the game, or an hour before the game, 90 minutes, whatever it is before the game, the inactives list. I think that's when we're going to know about Aaron Jones. If he is playing, I think he's still going to be limited. But look, he only had 11 touches last week. He had 2 touchdowns. He had 125 yards. So even a limited Aaron Jones can be very productive. So I would still feel confident in starting Jones if he plays, even though he's probably going to be fairly limited and on a pitch count. But the Packers use him sparingly anyway, and and he's still able to be effective. But just you've got an advantage here that it's a noon game. You're going to have time to make adjustments. If he's healthy, I'd play him, unless you have really good alternatives. Let's see. T-Gist, Bears Poverty. Yeah, I got you there. FP26. Sorry, I don't have my glasses. I got to move way up. Is Stokes coming back soon? Good question. Good question. I like it. 1 second. Stokes is on the PUP list, so he's going to be out a few more weeks. And then I suppose at that time they'll reevaluate it. Stokes, he had 2 injuries at one time. And for a long period of time, he wasn't even able to walk, let alone run or anything like that. So he had a longer journey back than some of the other guys who we saw, come back, like Rashawn Gary, recovered very well. I hope Stokes is coming back soon. Look at the Packers secondary part. Well, I shouldn't say secondary because I'm not sure about safety, although Darnell Savage had a great game. But the Packers may have the deepest cornerback group in the NFL and one of the best. And I think they started to show that on Sunday. But adding Stokes to it is just going to be icing on the cake. So I hope he comes back soon. I would say at this point, with the way that the Packers are set up in their secondary and with the depth that they do currently have right now at cornerback, I would say that it's not a time to rush Stokes back, but I hope he's back soon. But it's hard to tell. He had a lot to recover from. Hoping, though, after the allotted time of missing games after being on the PUP list, hoping he's going to be back out there. Let's see. Okay, so that's what A. Walton 14. We beat the Bears. Relax. I don't think we should think Love is really their future quite yet. So again, I mentioned this earlier. We gotta not let's not discount the win against the Bears. Okay, Bears worst team in football last year. Yep, got it. Bears terrible defense. Yep, got it. What is a good quarterback supposed to do against a bad defense? Throw for 3 touchdown passes, no interceptions, look good. He did what he was supposed to do. And I said it before, I'm not crowning Jordan Love as a Hall of Famer or as an MVP, but I'm just saying, to this point, in the limited experience that we've had with Love, he's checked off all the boxes that he's supposed to do. El Blanco Zorro says Jordan Love didn't look bad. No, he definitely did not look bad. Is Stokes and Watson coming back yet? So Christian Watson practiced today. That was promising. Still listed as questionable, along with a couple of other guys as well. Music Sandwich says bear down. All right. Is bear down a phrase for the Bears that they use in a positive way? And then I'm not all up and hip in what the kids are doing on everything. It seems to me bear down is a phrase that Bear fans use as a positive. As, for example, last week I saw a Bears podcast called Bear Down, so I assume that that the Bears use it in a positive way, and Packer fans say bear down as in we took down the Bears, or perhaps mocking their motto. El Blanco Zorro again. Who is going to be Packers wide receiver 1? Well, Romeo Doubs right now, no doubt about it. So Romeo Doubs, 2 touchdown passes, and in addition to that, he also had a lot of big catches in that game, 3rd down catches, which, by the way, Jordan Love, going back to Jordan Love for a second, not only did he have 3 touchdown passes, but boy, he was money on 3rd and 4th down as well. And that's where you need to be money. Sonny Johns, welcome in. I assume you're not a Packer fan, but that's okay. I give Packers fans knuckle sandwiches. All right. Well, I enjoy that. Let's see. Jared says, I went to the opener in Chicago and left in the 3rd quarter. Thought this year was going to be good. I assume you're a Bear fan then. Let's see. Okay, so this is a good one. 714 says, you think the Packers throw the ball more than last week because of Atlanta's D-line? I'm not sure. I don't know how much. I mean, some of what the Packers do is going to be dictated by the defense, but I think Matt LaFleur is going to have a pretty similar game plan in most games. I mean, it's about the LaFleur offense. It's not so much about the matchups. It's not so much about who you're playing. It's about the offense that he wants to run. And I think that as you look at guys like Matt LaFleur's offense, which is truly being run now that Aaron Rodgers isn't there, you look at LaFleur's offense, you look at McVay offense, Kyle Shanahan, those type of guys, I don't think they're so much dictated from the defenses in terms of what they're going to do. I think they're just going to go out there and they're going to run their game plan because it kind of covers everything. But obviously you need to make adjustments and stuff as well. Do I think they'll throw the ball more? I don't think so. I think it'll be a pretty similar looking offense to last week. One quick... Oh, wait, where do we go here? I got to get back up on the comments here. Sorry, guys, I want to catch up. By the way, if you're just joining us, check in. Let me know where you're watching from. We've had multiple states here in addition to Wisconsin. Let me know where you're watching from here. There was a side note I wanted to get off on here. Let's see. Natalie said, Brewers for the loss. Go Cubs. Go Reds, go. Well, it's not working out so well right now for the Cubs or the Reds with the Brewers' current lead in the division. Jager Steck said, you think Aaron Jones will play? I mentioned that before. Yeah, hard to tell right now. It's going to be a game time decision. Who knows? Canton _fan_ Josh _ Allen. Not so good of a game for Josh Allen in week 1. Packers fan. All right, good. Glad you're a Packer fan, in addition to evidently a Buffalo Bills fan. 714, thank you for bringing that up. Zach Tom looked really good at tackle Sunday. Hopefully he keeps it up against the Falcons. Oh, man, Zach Tom was great. You know what? I didn't hear one single word about Zach Tom during the Packer game against the Bears. And you know what that means for an offensive lineman? You did a hell of a job, and he did do a hell of a job. Let's see. Let's see here. Raider Nation, thanks for Devontae Adams. Welcome. Thank you for the draft pick. It's working out well for the Packers as well. Bears Sports LLC, is Aaron Jones all right? Well, he didn't practice today. Got a hamstring injury. We all know how that goes. Kind of hangs on a little bit. Cash says, I am singing on the field at the Diamondbacks game. All right, cool. Very cool. Let's see. Cody Bass Young, Falcons gonna stomp Packers Sunday. Boy, if you're a Packer fan, you better share this live. Get some more Packer fans in here. We've got too many fans of opposing teams. Hit the share button if you're a Packer fan. Even if you don't have any followers, whatever. What the hell? Just share it. Share it. Appreciate the likes, by the way. 2,000 likes. Shares, people following along. Follow along, please. Try to bring you good content every day. Give us a follow here, and hopefully you will not be disappointed with the Wisconsin Family Sports Network, and possibly soon to be expanding into other things. We'll have more on that coming up at a different time. Let's see here. Tate, who's winning the NFC North? I'm a Viking fan. I would say the Lions are winning the NFC North. Vikings not in too good a shape right now. So, the Vikings lose last night. They start out 0-2, and that is generally not good. So, since the AFL and NFL merger, teams who start out 0-2 on average go on to win 5.4 games per season. So, not too good. On the flip side, if the Packers could start out 2-0, that is generally a good recipe for making the playoffs. Luca says, Packers Falcons week, no Jones or Watson, easy dub Atlanta. Well, if Jones and Watson are both out, yeah, Atlanta's winning that game. I'm not a home. I'm a realistic Packer fan and Wisconsin sports fan in general. The Packers don't have Jones or Watson. I don't see any scenario in which I could pick the Packers to win that game. Charlie says, are the Bengals doomed or don't hit the panic button yet? I wouldn't hit the panic button after 1 week. Though, again, it just mentioned, hey, look, I mentioned because a lot of people a couple of weeks into the season, they'll say, wow, just don't overreact, not a big deal. Did you hear what I just said? If you go 0-2, you go on as an average to win 5.4 games. And that's not a case every single time. There are plenty of 0-2 teams who have still made the playoffs. But it's not good. It's you're not trending in a good direction. So it's not overreaction, but I wouldn't hit the panic button after week one. No, not when you've got Joe Burrow and seemingly a good head coach and good talent. Anyway, I don't know. I was going to say good offensive. I don't know that the Bengals have a great offensive system, or if it's just reliant on the pure talent that they have, which is kind of what it was in Green Bay when Mike McCarthy was the coach. James, welcome in, says, I would love to see Wilson in the backfield. Oh, yeah. I mean, after the preseason that he had, it would be fun to watch him and see what he can do. Though I would say that with a grain of salt. I would love to see Emmanuel Wilson in the backfield for the Packers, but not at the expense of Aaron Jones missing the game. Cody says, go Braves, go Dirty Birds. Well, Braves already kicked the Brewers' ass enough. Let's see. Prime time! Exclamation mark. Welcome in. Shut up, bro, you said. Well, I'm going to keep talking because nobody's going to sit here and watch me not talk, but I will drink a beer. Yes, thank you. Prime time. Nice beer. It is a good beer. Cheap and delicious. Omaha Berry. Packers lost their first round conditional pick from the Jets. Yes, indeed they did, unfortunately. Hey, but Goody's been really good in the second round, so, I'll take it. James says, Packers will pound the rock in Atlanta even with Jones out. I hope so. I mean, that's going to be part of the true Matt LaFleur offense. In addition, we saw a ton of motion. I love seeing that. I love seeing the real Matt LaFleur offense. I like seeing multiple running backs in the backfield at the same time. I like seeing, be it Aaron Jones or A.J. Dillon in there with Josiah DeGuara in the backfield as well. I like to see it. But yeah, they're gonna run the ball. Ryan, when the Brewers make the playoffs, you plan on going? I got to stick to Packers here, but I appreciate the Brewer talk. Yes, I do. Brian, okay. Off the top here, Brian Smith, welcome in. He says, rank the NFC North. Lions number 1. I mean, how can I pick the Vikings? Previously, I might have put the Vikings ahead of the Packers, but right now, just based off of what I've seen, which isn't much, it's only, 2 games for the Vikings, 1 for everyone else. Lions, Packers, Vikings, Bears. I still put the Vikings ahead of the Bears. Sodi, who's the leading wide receiver for the Packers? At this point, no doubt, Romeo Doubs. Not only did he have the 3 touchdown catches and a lot of big, like, third down catches, stuff like that in week 1, he's also got the best connection with Jordan Love as well. Let's see. Snarf 1011. Are you a Bucks fan too? Yes, I am a Bucks fan. Packers way up here as far as my fandom goes. Brewers right there. Bucks there. Badgers somewhere in there. But yes, Bucks fan. Brian says, I knew you would say that. I'm a Vikings fan. Yeah, I mean, I just, at the beginning of the season, I think what we're seeing here with the Vikings, I won't go as far as to call the Vikings frauds last year. I mean, they made the playoffs. Now, of course, they had a rough time in the playoffs as well, and a lot of the deeper numbers showed that maybe the Vikings, I don't even want to say it. I was going to say a lot of the deeper numbers showed that the Vikings weren't as good as their record says they were, and I don't believe in, I really don't believe in that, to be honest with you. I think your record is, I think your record tells you everything that you are. Really, it does. So, I mean, the Vikings were definitely worthy to make the playoffs last year, to win the division last year. But you could see behind the scenes there were some shortcomings, and things of that nature. They did a hell of a job in the one-score games, but now this year they're not. But so, if they had a solid enough foundation to win last year in a division that was pretty weak. But now when push comes to shove, they're kind of showing us what we kind of thought they were last year, which again I wouldn't say is fraudulent. It just wasn't as solid as the record might indicate, if that makes sense. Chase says options on Rodgers' injury. I'm not sure what you mean. Talking Jets options? I don't know. Don't know. Don't care about the Jets. Not anymore. I want Aaron Rodgers to play 65% of the snaps. Again, I'm not happy. Or not. I didn't want Rodgers to be hurt one way or the other. I'm not rooting for anyone to be injured. Oh. Opinions. Oh, opinions on the Rodgers injury. Okay. Yeah. I mentioned it earlier. My opinion on the Rodgers injury. Again, first and foremost, I don't want to see anyone get injured. And I don't care if it's Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, or the third string left guard for the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't want to see anyone get hurt. So I say that. But again, Rodgers hurt. I moved on from Aaron Rodgers. So it was Rodgers or Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes. Don't want to see any of them get hurt, but it's kind of all the same to me. The only issue for Packer fans is that Rodgers not playing 65% of the snaps. They don't get that draft pick. But so, I mean, that's what it is. That's the risk you take. It's like making a bet on the game, right? Let's see. Jordan Love is overrated. Is he overrated, underrated, properly rated? I don't know. I'd say he's properly rated at this point. Let's see. James says it would be great if Valentine could get some playing time, but not at the expense of injuries. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. I mean, it's great. And look, he's going to get playing time because you know what? This football, and we just talked about Rodgers, and you see it all over the place. There's going to be injuries. There's going to be injuries to the Packers defensive back. Somebody's going to go down. Keep your fingers crossed that it's not Jair Alexander and, not Rasul Douglas, but somebody's going to get hurt or dinged up. He's going to get a chance to play. So, I mean, you don't even have to say you want to see him having playing time, but not at the expense of injuries. I get what you're saying, but I mean, it is what it is. He's going to have playing time at some point. And it's good. It's good that Valentine is there and that he's looked as good as he does, because that just adds depth to a position where you need it because injuries happen. Zach, I like what you're saying here. Packers defense are looking strong. Yes, the Packer defense is indeed looking strong, albeit as it may, against a team that doesn't really have a quarterback or a passing game. But again, Can't knock the Packers for that. They did what they're supposed to do. I have seen enough Packer teams in my life, enough Packer defenses, against the Bears no less. I've seen enough Packer defenses with going up against some lousy quarterbacks where they just put up astronomical numbers. Good good start for the Packer defense. No doubt. Against the not-so-good team? Yeah. But what do you want them to do? Lose? I mean, so yeah, it was a good start. I like what the Packers are doing with the stunts. They like doubled the next closest team in the amount of stunts that they ran on the line. So that was good. I think they're confusing defenses. I think that's part of being more aggressive. We saw the secondary being more aggressive. We even saw Darnell Savage being more aggressive. Let's see. Is Jordan Love him? Don't know. Still gotta wait. But he's checked off all the boxes that he needs to this point. Chase says, who do you think is the best quarterback in the league right now? Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes would have won that game against the Lions had Kadarius Toney not cost him it. But no, that's Mahomes. Web Dev Guy, welcome in, says, imagine if Love is the Packers' third Hall of Fame quarterback in a row. Oh, I imagine it. Morning, noon, and night. Let's see. Q Cirque says, or Q, I don't know. Q Cirque, I don't know. Host must be happy about Rodgers. No, I'm not happy about Rodgers. I generally don't care a whole lot one way or the other, but I hope he recovers well, just as any other person who gets injured I hope would recover well. Let's see. As a Packer fan, can Bijan get 18 receiving yards against the Packers? Yeah. Alex says, go Pack, go. Welcome in, Alex. I agree with your sentiment. Oh, yeah, you got that. And I don't know how to say your name. Arion Brightflame. I really like what I saw from Wyatt. Yeah. Devontae Wyatt and Quay Walker both look good. Quay Walker, obviously, with the long interception return for a touchdown. But Wyatt, he was showed a lot of strength in that game, pushing guys around, got to the quarterback. Yeah, it was good to see. And the Packers are going to need that. They're banking on him big time on that defensive line. So 100% agree with that sentiment. And so far, the young guys that the Packers have needed to step up in year two, we've seen them do that to this point. And just off the top of my head, Romeo Doubs, big game, good game. Couple of touchdowns, big third down receptions. Devontae Wyatt, yeah, good looking jump from year 1 to 2. Quay Walker I mentioned as well. Yeah. Alex says Matt LaFleur definitely has more freedom for play calling without Rodgers. Yeah, which is kind of to be honest with you, it's kind of a sad commentary on LaFleur in a way, because the head coach and the play caller should have full freedom to call whatever plays he wants, no matter who the quarterback is. But I agree with you. He has more freedom. He has more courage to call whatever plays he wants to play without Rodgers. Let's see. Kaylan, Packers own the NFC North. Yeah, for the most part, not so much last year. James, who's backing up Bakhtiari? Let's see. Probably Zach Tom. Because Zach Tom, we talked about him earlier, he had a hell of a game at right tackle last week, but he is by far the most versatile player that the Packers have on that offensive line. So if Bakhtiari wouldn't be able to go for whatever reason at some point in time, it would be Zach Tom, I assume, going there, and then it would be Yash Nyman at the right tackle spot for Tom. What's your projected final record for the Packers? I'll have to revise it. I said, 8-9 was my last prediction that I did before week 1. 8-9. Let's see. Cozy055. Will Aaron Jones play Sunday? I don't know. That is going to be a game time decision. On the one hand, it's promising that he's listed as questionable only and not doubtful or ruled out. But it's not promising that he did not practice today. So we'll find out, I assume, shortly before the Packers kick off at noon Central Time. James says, I thought Love did a nice job manipulating the Bears' defense. The film would agree with you, James. He indeed did do that. Let's see. What else we got here? I gotta stop saying let's see. I keep repeating that over and over again. I need a new phrase. Help me out here. Get in the habits. You don't want to do that as a broadcaster. Let's see, let's see, let's see. How many times have I said that tonight? Let's see, James. No, I'm just kidding. I like how our offense will be more mobile with Love at quarterback. It adds a dimension. I mean, they tried on one of the first. Well, it was the first play or was it the second play? The Packers tried an option play that didn't go so well. I think you might want to throw that one out, but I'm not going to say let's see anymore. The dude, one game don't mean anything. Bear down. Well, I'll take a 1-0 start over an 0-1 start, though. 6 Block Germ, welcome in. Again, if you guys are just joining in here, we got a few minutes left here. We're going to go for about 4 or 5 more minutes here. If you're joining in, feel free to comment. Feel free to talk amongst each other in the comment section. Please also check in. Let me know where you're watching from as well. I'd like to see that. So I hope Watson plays. 6 Block Germ says. I hope Watson plays as well. Because if Watson's in and Jones is in, Packers are going to be at their peak performance-wise offensively. No doubt about it. And Denton says, is Christian Watson playing Sunday? Again, don't know. He's listed as questionable. He did practice today, so that was promising. I said in one of the earlier videos that I posted today that I didn't feel real confident in him playing, but then that was before the Packers practice, and that was before he came into the game, or before he was on the practice field today. I wasn't really expecting him to be out there today, but the fact that he was is promising. So hopefully he does play on Sunday. Lions all day, Detroit. I think I know where you stand as a sports fan. Explain why Atlanta is favored. What does Vegas know? Home game? That gives you an advantage. Probably the fact that Watson and Jones, Packers' 2 biggest offensive weapons, are questionable. So I would say that plays a big factor into that line. James says, do you think Jaden Reed will return a kick for a touchdown this season? Boy, he looked good. He was another guy that stepped up, young guy. And he looked pretty good on punt returns. I'm going to say yes. Yes, I think Jaden Reed will take one back this year. Kaylin from Plymouth, Wisconsin. All right, Plymouth. Very good. I was in Plymouth just a couple of days ago for a secret assignment. No, I was in Plymouth a couple of days ago. No, I'm not going to hit the grid. He can't do that. M_X or SXL says, Packers take the Falcons easy, right? I don't think so. Particularly with the injuries that they have. The Packers win, it's not going to be an easy win. Unfortunately, I picked the Packers to lose. But I hope I'm wrong. Very much hope I'm wrong. But when I do my predictions and my picks, I have to be objective. I have to be reliable for all you fine ladies and gentlemen who are watching. Let's see. Oh, I said it again. Let's see. Come on, Aaron. Stop. Stop saying that. It's a bad habit. What is your username here? USNVETMM. Good evening from Michigan. Good evening from Michigan indeed. Welcome in. Brett says, gonna find out what Jordan's all about on Sunday. Atlanta's defense is real nice. Yeah, it's definitely going to be more of a challenge for the Packers and Jordan Love than it was against the Bears, no doubt. But again, I contend that you're playing a bad defense against the Bears. Fine. So what do you have to do? Play well against them. What did Jordan Love do? 3 touchdowns, good passing yards, great quarterback rating, no turnovers. Did what he's supposed to do. Wisconsin Sports Clips, welcome back. Appreciate you always joining the live. Am I going to watch the Brewer game? Yes, I'm going to watch Brewer game. What do we got? They start at 7:10, right? So we got 40 minutes before that. Lions all day Detroit, not going to lie. Green Bay worries me. Now, you've just been conditioned to think that as a Lion fan. It doesn't have to be rooted in reality. I hope it's true, but you're just conditioned. I mean, it's like us Brewer fans, which, I mean, the Cardinals will be 17 games on, and we're like, oh, they're kind of worrying me yet. That's just how you're conditioned to think. I wouldn't worry too much. Hey, thank you again. Let's see if I can get your name right. US and Vet. MM. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Kaylin says, what happens to Packers after the injury of Rodgers? What does this mean for cap space / trade coming? It doesn't mean anything for the cap space. It just it means Packers are going to get a 2nd round pick instead of a 1st round pick because Rodgers did not play 65% of the Jets' offensive snaps this year. Plymouth is my favorite. Got to go see a high school football game soon. Go to Plymouth. Very good. Sounds good. I will note that. JC435, welcome in, says Packers are chokers. They are just like the Cowboys. Good regular season and then choke in the period. I assume you mean playoffs. Can I argue that? No, Packers haven't won a Super Bowl in 13 years. James says, good chatting with you, Wisconsin family. Good chatting with you, James. Thank you for joining in. Hey, Crispy Critter, welcome back. Green Bay here. Need a home game already, missing the hype around town. Oh, yeah, definitely. No doubt. Tough to start out first 2 games on the road. But look at it this way. The longer you're starved for that home game and the hype, the sweeter it'll be, the more hype there will be. And Crispy Critter, you got to go, Pack, go. Another quick Brewer note. McNallen, if I'm getting that right, says Mitchell's starting his rehab tonight. It's huge. Yeah, Garrett Mitchell starting rehab assignment. Massive. Get him back for the stretch run. Whew. Feeling a little bit better as a Brewer fan with that. Lucas says, going to week 5 against the Raiders, going to wear my Devontae jersey. All right, well, there's nothing wrong with that. And look at the jerseys that are around Lambeau Field. I mean, no, nothing wrong with that. Go ahead. Hey, Wisconsin Sports Clips from Sheboygan. Check in with Sheboygan. You know what? Now, I don't live in Sheboygan. I don't give out too much information as far as where I live. I just say, excuse me, I live somewhere between Milwaukee and Sheboygan, right along Lake Michigan. Though I will tell you, last Saturday, before all the college football festivities started, I was in Sheboygan last week. Last Saturday, I went to the farmer's market there. Very nice farmer's market. Got some, didn't give me much, but there was a lot of stands there. I got some beets, like Dwight Schrute, and got some radishes. Both were good. Lots of options there. Kaylin says, all right, I got to bounce out. Thanks for all the good answers. Well, I appreciate you joining in the conversation here, Kaylin. Welcome back whenever. Well, Lions fan, at least you're honest. Or Lions all day Detroit. At least we won a Super Bowl. No, we won quite a few Super Bowls. I don't even know what a Super Bowl is. We've never been there. Never gone there. Yep. That is so fetch. Cool name. Brock Purdy is the truth. Brock Purdy, You know what? I know a lot of Packer fans don't like Colin Cowherd, but I thought he has some good analogies, and he was talking about Brock Purdy the other day, and just talking about the amount of playing time that he's been able to get in his football career, going all the way back to high school and then in college, and then he's able to come in to the NFL, and he's got a lot of experience, and I think that shows through for him. And obviously, I mean, he's a good quarterback as well. And Lions All Day says that system is perfect for Brock. Yeah, it is. And I think it goes to show, too. And I think that's an exciting thing for somebody like Jordan Love, is because you get somebody, I think Brock Purdy was the last pick in the draft. Jordan Love was a first-round pick. So I think, objectively speaking, many would say that Jordan Love has more talent than Purdy, right? If Purdy can flourish in that type of an offense, which again is an offshoot of McVay's offense and Shanahan's offense, is what LaFleur runs. If Purdy can excel in that, imagine how much more if Jordan Love runs it, he could excel in it. So, I almost said let's see again. We're not doing that anymore. All right. McNallen checking in from Seattle. Welcome in. Mr. Irrelevant going to be Mr. MVP this year. Yeah, I don't know if I go that far to say he's a MVP. All right, we got 1 minute left here. 1 minute left. We're going to set a timer on the phone here. You want to go rapid fire? Ask me any questions that you want. I'll try to answer it the best that I can. Let's see here. 1 minute left to go in the program. Starting now. Have at it. Rapid fire. Let's go. Give you a one-word answer, anything else. Or if you don't say anything or ask any questions, I won't say a word about it. And that's where we're at. Now, this doesn't have to be just Packer-related. Ask me anything you want to know. Who's the odd man out of the Brewers outfield next year? Weimer? I don't know. Weimer's got to get his batting corrected here. Now, I'm not a hitting coach. I was a head varsity baseball coach for 8 years in high school, so that's the extent to my baseball knowledge in addition to playing. But I see a lot of movement in that Weimer swing. I think they're going to have to cut some of that out. Got 14 seconds left for rapid fire. Anyone want to ask me anything? We're shutting it down. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7. Yaddy, yo. Aaron Jones going to play. Crispy Critter, don't know. Got to think Cheerio will be up at some point next year. Oh. We hear the timer. Where'd it go? It's not very loud. Probably because I picked my phone up. Yes, Cheerio will be Churio, not Cheerio. Churio will be up at some point next year. You look like Ryan Russillo. I used to listen to Ryan Russillo a lot. I used to work overnights. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me. Appreciate it. Thank you for all the check-ins, the likes, comments, shares, follows. Follow along if you're in here right now. Please try to bring you great content every day. It's going to be an expanding Wisconsin Family Sports Network, in maybe even into other things outside of sports. Got some things in the works here right now. Appreciate you guys coming in here. McNallen, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it, guys. Everyone, have a great night. Thank you for talking Packers with me here over the next hour or so. Go Pack Go over the Falcons. Hope the Packers get a win here. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks again.